Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Football Chatbox. My name is Ryan, and welcome to the Gameweek 30 team selection video. We're going to be discussing all the moves, answering your questions if you have any as well, and obviously um, talking chip strategy. And we can also discuss with regards to the new game mode FPL Challenge. We can talk about that as well. If you haven't joined the mini league for FPL Challenge, make sure to join that as well. I can give you the league code, or you can use the command in the chat, uh, exclamation mark FPL Challenge, and that should also bring you up. So let me know for anyone who is interested. Please feel free to ask any questions, and if you're watching this back as well, feel free to ask any questions in the comments, and I will answer every single question possible in the comments as well. But yeah, if you're new, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and let's get straight into my Game Week 30 team selection decisions. All right, now, so this is my current team, but obviously things will change. The team is looking like this for the moment, but I am considering, at least for the moment, my chip plan is potentially right now is dead end 34, wildcard 35, bench boost 37. That's at least the current plan that I have. Now going forward, will that be the same plan still? We'll kind of wait and see, but at the moment, this is the plan that I have for the moment. So dead end 34, wildcard 35, and then bench boost 37. So we'll see how it goes. I might have to take a couple hits, including this game week. My main transfers that I want to make for this week are Cole Palmer. And then the other transfer that I've been thinking about is probably a goalkeeper transfer for a -4 that includes Ariola out and Kelleher in. That is where I'm currently at. Unfortunately, I can't really get Salah as part of a -8 because I'm 0.1 short because I didn't move early. When I could have maybe when Foden's price was up as well, I didn't move. So that is going to cost me a bit. So this is how it's looking like, unless for some reason, one of someone's prices, like, I don't know whose price would rise, but for the moment, if I was to think about it, this is one potential way, but 0.1 short. Unless I sell a Huming Sun, which I don't want to do this week because he has Luton. So I'm not going to do that -8. I'm probably going to keep it like this as a -4. And then I have a couple different options that I can do in 31 in terms of transfers. I can either sell Watkins in 31 or I can sell Huming Sun in 31. For the moment, the Gameweek 30 team would look like this, but 31, it could look like this, one of the two options. Now, if I sell Watkins in 31 for Darwin, I have considered the option of keeping Huming Sun and selling Martin Odegaard. I know Odegaard has Luton, but I feel like Sun was a good option as well. But looking at it, I think the better option going forward would be to sell Sun. Because when I get to like 32, I would most likely roll my transfer. 33, I will make a transfer. The only problem is I would have loved to have made, as you can see in the Sun out plan on the right, I've made a transfer for Munoz that I've taken out. That I bought in, and the player that I took out in this case was Pedro Porro. Now, I would have ideally maybe preferred even doing a midfield transfer of Garnacho to someone, but the only problem in this specific case is I didn't have the budget, I think, to go like Garnacho to, let's say, an Olise, and I didn't have the budget to go Garnacho to Eze without losing Pedro Porro. So it's something that I kind of have to consider and see. Munoz isn't the best option for that week. Maybe Ent Nuri will be a better option, but I feel like Munoz is a better option in 34 over Ent Nuri in 34 because Ent Nuri has Bournemouth and Arsenal, and I don't think Wolves are keeping a clean sheet in either of the games. Whereas Crystal Palace could potentially keep a clean sheet in one of those games in 34. So I have to kind of think about that. And this is how the team will look like: 10 doublers, play Haaland as well against Brighton. And yeah, so that is my plan. Obviously, the advantage in the sun out plan in 31 means that I can get 10 doublers and still have an extra free transfer. Which means if I still thought that, let's say, for example, Odegaard was not the one, I could sell Odegaard and bring in Kai Havertz. Now, I could also do that in Gameweek 33. Instead of getting Munoz in, I could just, if I felt like Odegaard wasn't the one, sell him for Aston Villa and get Kai Havertz in against Aston Villa because Arsenal are at home. The reason I'm thinking Kai Havertz is, I don't know, I just have this weird feeling, Kai Havertz going against his former team, Chelsea, eventually gets a goal. But I'm thinking, I don't know, it'll all depend on mini league and who my mini league rivals have and all of that. So maybe I keep Pedro Porro against Newcastle for one more game. That might be another possible option. I haven't thought about it fully yet, but that's another possible option to kind of consider for me. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. I could also, if I wanted a specific situation, I could do Odegaard to a Manchester United player, either Bruno Fernandes or Marcus Rashford. And I would have done in 30, that means in 34, I would have done Garnacho to Olise. And I could do, if for example, let's say Gabriel Jesus is the main striker for Arsenal at that point, I could do Haaland to Gabriel Jesus. And as my single game week player, have the Manchester United player, which is either Rashford or Bruno Fernandes, against Sheffield United. That is also a possible scenario. But Haaland against Brighton is very tempting. So we kind of had to wait and see in terms of my moves. Still haven't decided what way to go. But yeah, but for right now, at least Sun out looks like the play. Tin, welcome. How are you doing, Tin? How are things going? So yeah, this is the current situation. In terms of my team for Game Week 31. Let me know if you have any questions, people. But yeah, that's basically it. And then for FPL Challenge, I haven't done a full team yet. I'll make a video later for that in terms of a draft. A few things to consider is you can, based on how the deadlines work, and this is a lot of people have been talking about this on X, is you could potentially, for example, in this case scenario, you could get, let's say, a player from Newcastle. Let's say, for example, an Isaac, and you could actually bench them, right? And if they get good points on the bench, you could replace one of your forwards with maybe an Isaac, and replace one of your forwards on the starting 11 with an injured forward who is not going to play, and then Isaac will get subbed on. That is something you could potentially do as well. So that's something for you to kind of consider if you want to do something like that. Because the automatic substitutions will happen as well. So that is another thing that people have been talking, which is not a bad idea. It all depends on how you structure your team. I haven't fully structured my team yet. I might think about it a bit more. Actually, let's actually do it on this. Maybe for this game. So I would like Muniz. I don't really know if I want Jackson, to be honest. Watkins is fine. I'll probably get... Do I get Darwin Nunes? No, let's go get Højlund in. I like Højlund for this one. Let's play different for this one. Let's go get Højlund in, transfer in. How do I transfer him in? Transfer out. Get Højlund in. I would have Cole Palmer, Heung-min Son, Havertz. No, Havertz can go out. Let's get Salah. Liverpool. Let's get Salah in. Midfield, I would probably get rid of Phil Foden as well, potentially. Entnu, Kivio out. Ben White out. Entnuri out. Let's get Do we get Van Dijk against Brighton? No, actually, let's go and get Pedro Porro for Spurs. Or do we have anyone else who could do well? Robinson, actually, from Fulham. Should have a good option. Let's get Robinson from Fulham. I'll probably have, instead of Kelleher, I think I would have, let's start, this is where you do the whole thing. Let's get Leno in instead of Onana. So transfer out Onana, get Leno in. You can have Leno on the bench. If Leno does well, you can maybe remove Kelleher for someone else. I could get Munoz as well against Forest. We could get Gusto against Chelsea. Chelsea's Gusto is fit. Is he fit? Okay, this is something we kind of have to monitor, but let's add him for the moment. Let's go and add Taganguna. Welcome. How are you doing? Nick, welcome. Gotta have Leno and Petrovic as keepers. Leno is in there. Petrovic against Burnley. Ooh, not a bad option. Not a bad option, to be honest. I could probably have Petrovic. So okay, here's the reasoning. Now, this is something people have been talking on X, is that, let's say, for example, Leno does well, and this is where we're going to use the advantage of the deadlines. If Leno does well on my bench, I could replace Kelleher with like a keeper who is not going to play and just get Leno to come as an automatic substitution. That is why I've gone for Kelleher as the late game. That is something that I've been thinking about. Maybe something doable. Because the deadlines are basically at kickoff. But if I have Leno and Petrovic who are playing at the same time, then I kind of have to pick one. But in this case, I could probably use the bench to my advantage. When is the deadline for this game week? As I'll be over in Bali for the Easter break. Oh, nice. Deadline for this week is on Saturday. Saturday at 2200 AEDT, which in Bali would be, let me have a look and see. That would be 7 p.m. Bali time. Taganguna. 7 p.m. Bali time. Same as WA? Oh, yeah, okay, so 7 p.m. So yeah, so I think the other defender I would like to have would be, do we get Pedro Porro against Luton? Or who else can we go for? Munoz against Forest, potentially. But he's away. Maybe Porro against Luton or Destiny against Luton. So Porro for the moment. And in midfield, I could do, if Richarlison is fit, do Richarlison. Let's transfer Stones and Mac out. I could bring in Liverpool against Brighton. Do we bring in Luis Diaz? Luis Diaz or Man United? Bradley? Good point. Yes, I could bring Bradley in. Let me bring Bradley in. Start Bradley over Porro for the moment. Why do I have so many defenders? What happened? Transfer out Porro. I don't need Porro. I would have, instead of, who would I have as the other defender? Hmm. Maybe I bring in a new. I don't even want to bring a Newcastle defender, but I could bring a Newcastle defender like a Trippier or something, and just put him on the bench. If he does well, he does well. Take advantage like of the deadline or something. Because if he does well, then I can just remove one of my um, defenders from the starting 11. But Trippier is injured. Never mind. Never mind. I take it away. Who else? Maybe just stack your bench with late game defenders. Yeah, most likely. I'm just trying to figure out who I would want. I think Dalot probably one is an option. Alex Moreno maybe against Wolves potentially. That's also another option. Maybe if Moreno is playing, because if we get news that Aston Villa Moreno is playing, he could be a play as well. Um, so if I'm doing late game defenders, right, Aston Villa against Moreno, I could even do this as an option. This is why you make use of the bench. So if Gusto gets a clean sheet, I will then remove Moreno for someone worse who is not going to play and get Gusto to come on as a sub. And then obviously midfielder. Do I go for a Liverpool? No, I can't go for Liverpool. I've gone triple Liverpool already. I can go 5 actually. Yeah. Okay, I can go for another Liverpool player midfield, or I could go for. Do I want a City or Arsenal player? Nah, it's a tough game. I'll probably go for the others. Who do we want to go for? Can you sub someone in after they've already played? Um. So according to the rules, oh, see, this is where you can't. This is how the rules are kind of. I think they'll fix these rules eventually. But anyways, according to the rules, uh, that's called. Where's the rules? Help. Here we go. Um, Substitutions. Automatic substitutions will take place at the end of the game week as follows. If the goalkeeper does not play, they'll be substituted by a replacement goalkeeper if they played in the game week. If any of your outfield players do not play in the game week, they'll be substituted by the highest priority outfield substitute who played in the game week and does not break formation rules. So if you start in team, basically the same as FPL. So that means what happens is you could oh no, I didn't save my team. That means you could have players in your starting 11 and have your bench as early game players. And then if they do well on the bench, you can change your starting 11 because they're yet to play, right? Your starting 11 is yet to play. You can change them and bring in players who are like injured or something. For players, like you get what I mean, right? You could take up players. You could bring in like injured players or players who are not going to play at all, definitely, and put them in your starting 11. And your bench players will just get substituted on because the starting 11 players haven't played. Does that make sense? Yeah, okay, so that makes sense. Can I do a minus this week as I get Salah in? You could do that, Tiger Gunner. Okay, you're 137. Okay, let's bring it in. Let me actually finish this so that we have like a basic draft of what we wanted. Let me do this by transfers in so it's faster. Why are transfers in? Okay, never mind. Let me do this by this thing defenders. So I wanted Poro, I wanted Robinson, I wanted, was it Moreno? Sorry, Bradley. I wanted transfer out, transfer out. There was Moreno. We have Salah, Son, Palmer, at Hoyland. I could bring in Bruno maybe as well. Or I want Fernandez. Do I Palmer, Salah. Maybe I could bring Bruno Fernandez. Could also bring Diaz, maybe Luis Diaz. Anyone else that I would like to have? Any Chelsea players? Bournemouth players? Newcastle players? I haven't got a single Newcastle player to make the most of it. I should probably think about a Newcastle player, but can't find anyone. Maybe let's get a him to just go double Fulham, as in double Fulham defense. That's a possibility. Like Castanage and yeah, Castanage and Robinson. That's also true. And Leno in bench as well. That's also true. Let me go and get Castanage for now. So I could do something like this, and I could probably have Moreno starting over here. So something like this. Let me save the team. For now, let's just keep it like this. We'll see how things go. Obviously, things can change and whatnot. And you could do the same thing with your captaincy as well. If your initial captain goes big, then you don't have to worry. But you kind of have to remove your captain for someone good. That's the only problem. But yeah, probably wouldn't do it too much with my captaincy. But yeah, all right. This is for now. I will think about it later, and obviously we'll decide later. These modes are basically going to be a target chef. It probably might be. All right, let's get into the main FPL game. 137 for Tiger and Gunnar. Let's have a look, shall we? Now, obviously, before you guys join, I was talking about my team selection ideas, which I'll go over later again if needed. But let's first help you guys out. So Tiger and Gunnar, we'll start with you. And I'll try and record a wildcard video as well for Gameweek 30, but it's not as easy. I was thinking of what multiple ways I could try and do it, but it wasn't easy, to be honest. All right, so Tiger and Gunnar, this is how your team looks like. You'll be having Palmer, who starts again. You'll probably captain, I guess, Humming's son, probably. Your defense, I'd probably start Anderson or Doughty. And keeper, up to you to decide. Now, what are the moves you're thinking, Tiger and Gunnar? I'm probably thinking you want Salah in, right? So maybe Barkley out, Salah in. That would bring. You bench Tony or would you bench Douglas Lewis? Tough decision there. Might bench one of them, Tony or Douglas Lewis. Captain Son? Captain Son. Well, you can captain Son. You can captain Salah as well if you bring Salah in. So you could do this as well. Would you do another move? Do you need to do another move? How would your team look like come Gameweek 34? 1, 2, 3 for the moment. What chips do you have left, Tiger and Gunnar? You've got your wildcard, bench boost, and triple captain. Ah, interesting. Very interesting. Ah. Okay. So you have an option. You have wildcard, triple captain, and bench boost. You could probably triple captain in 37 or 34 or even 36. Bench boost triple captain? Yeah. So the question is when ideally I think your wildcard should probably be when would you want to wildcard? I think you would want to wildcard for you 31, right? Most likely. Because your team is not set up in a way to dead end in 34 per se. But too many single game week players. So I think you probably will want to wildcard 31. Then the question is, do you bench boost in 34 or do you bench boost in 37? And the wildcard 31, yeah, probably wildcard 31. Looking at your team. Because right now, if you do the Salah move, you go to Gameweek 34, you have 1, 2, 3 players. You'll probably add another Arsenal. Let me try and see what we can do. So let's say you do Salah. Who else would you want to get in? Let's say for this example, for this week. I guess another option would be probably Darwin Nunes, maybe, if he's fit. Or anyone else would we go for? Who should I replace? I think for now, what we're looking at is maybe like a Barkley to a Salah, right? As a move. You could do you could take a risk. I think it's well, you could go without Haaland until game week 34 as well, potentially. Barkley and Doughty. Yeah, Barkley and Doughty definitely has to go. So Barkley out for Salah. You could do Doughty out for maybe Virgil. Start Virgil over Saliba maybe for this week. Something like this. Then go game week 31 and probably look to get Saka in for Madison. And maybe we look at getting a Darwin Nunes in against Sheffield United. Something just for example, that's another -4. How would that look in 34? You would have in 34, you would have something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Not too bad. So that's a -8 already. Then you would end up in a situation where probably have to get rid of Dunk. For who is the question? Maybe Ain't Nuri? I'm just trying to see if we can, if we can do such a way where you potentially even wildcard 35 is what I'm thinking. What if we did Dunk for Ain't Nuri or something? West Ham United. I don't know if it's... this is where we're trying to because you need to look at the teams that have good fixtures. Because of how the fixtures are gone from 34 and 37 and all of that, there's so many possibilities of what managers can play. Let's remove Brentford, Chelsea, Crystal Palace, Everton. Remove Brighton as well. Liverpool, City, United, Newcastle, Spurs, Wolves. These are the teams you want to look at. We could probably look towards maybe you get a Everton player. So bring Virgil in for Dirty. Yeah, you could do Virgil for a minus. Possibly. It depends. It all depends on when you want to wildcard. If you wildcard in 31, you don't need to do the minus this week. If you plan on wildcarding like a 35, then it changes your approach of like hits and everything. So that's what I'm trying to see whether with hits, whether we can, with let's say a -8, whether we can get you to a decent squad is what I'm trying to look at. Let's say you went for, I don't know, Rare. Would you do it? It's Wolves. He's not a bad fixture. Let's keep it there. Maybe you went Gabriel instead. Double Arsenal defense, right? Something like this. Then 34, you would have, for the moment at least, something like this, which means 1, 2, 3 players to get rid of. That's not too bad, actually. 33, you would get rid of Muniz, maybe. Bring a Solanke, possibly. Oh, it's against Man United. Never mind. Maybe get rid of a Douglas Lewis. Who would you bring in? Why not Bradley instead of Virgil? The one problem with Bradley is the long term, because apparently there's rumors that Trent said he might be available for the Sheffield United game, but then Klopp said most likely not, maybe Man United. So that's why I'm like uncertain on like how long Bradley is a viable alternative. Like when is Trent coming back? That's the one problem. That means that I'll have Saliba, Pau, Anderson for the game week in my defense. Yes, you would have Saliba, Pau, Anderson for this week. Your wildcard in 31. Yes. If you delay your wildcard, this is what we have to consider, right? Because if you delay your wildcard, then the question is how many doublers can you get? You've taken a -8 so far to get there. 33, 34, 1, 2, 3. Have to take another minus because you'll probably remove a goalkeeper. Bring in Solanke over here. So you would do something like Solanke. You would probably get rid of Douglas Lewis for Saka, Salah. Who do you want in that midfield? Olise maybe. Or Eze. Let's go Eze. And that's 2 transfers, and then you could probably do for a -12. You could do a -12, and you could go. You've already tripled up on Liverpool and Arsenal. Could go a Wolves player, or could do a goalkeeper transfer that either brings in. You could do a goalkeeper transfer that brings in like a Neto, or even possibly who could you do? Neto or a Pickford? Probably a Neto, right? Yes, it is. Is this my team on screen? Yes, this is your team on screen. He's just trying to plan what transfers should be made if you delay your. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm just looking at your team and trying to see how we can move if we delay a wildcard. Who did I remove Eze for? For Douglas Lewis, no? Obviously, we can't do that. We had to remove Eze for Son. So if we take another hit, maybe sometime early in the season, to bring in like a Neto or something for a goalkeeper. It's not too bad. Obviously, I would have loved to have had, instead of having 4 defenders, maybe have another attacker. Like, that's the one thing I would have preferred, like having more attackers. Tony, Darwin. Which other attacker? We could probably go for a Wolves. If Matthias Cunha as an option, could go for Semenyo, possibly. Could actually do Semenyo as well. So you could like even go Tony out, Semenyo in for that extra fixture for a -4, potentially. Mateta in for Tony and get another doubling. Yeah, you could do Mateta as well. Could do Mateta as well. That's also another option. I mean, for a total of a -12, you can delay a wild card. Now, obviously, there are circumstances where you go where maybe some players get injured and all of that, and then it kind of changes things. But it's not a bad situation to be in, because I'm thinking, right, the only wildcard 31 is also an option. You might have to build a wildcard and see, because if you build a wildcard in 31 with your team, I'm wondering if you build a wildcard in 31, trying to bench boost, I think you might bench boost in 37 probably. Triple captain in 34 for Salah. Triple captain Salah maybe in 34. The only thing is, once you get to 35, you would need to be in a position where I guess you would be benching your Spurs players here, right? Because you need to bring in Spurs players back in. So I'm assuming on your bench here, you would have the likes of an Udogi as an option. You'd have an Onana in goal. You need to bring in United players as well, Newcastle players. The switch is so big. I feel like that's the one thing. Also, can you have a look at my team when you get the chance after this? 87th and unsure my next move. Yeah, we can bring your team up as well. So up to you, Tiger and Guna. What do you want to do? Do you want to delay a wild card? Or do you want to play it in 31? Obviously, we are going without Haaland for almost the majority of it. But then I think at your rank, you take the risk right now anyways and go without Haaland and see how things go. You'll get Haaland back in 35. What do you think is best? I think there are options. I think there are various options. Obviously, there are completely different like alternatives that you can try. It's hard to tell one is better than the other. I'm just thinking for a -12, it seems like it's possible. For a -12, it's not too bad actually. Is there any way down this line where did we get Gabriel? We got Gabriel in here, no? What if we didn't get Gabriel? Oh, it's because I had to start either Van Dijk or something. What if we didn't get Gabriel over here and we use that instead to get an attacking player? Maybe we removed Muniz in this specific situation and went and got like a Solanke. Who was here in this case? Anderson, Virgil, Saliba was Pau Torres, no? And Dunk. Let's bring Dunk back in. He had Arsenal, right? So what if you, let's say for example, started Van Dijk against United? Had something like this and you removed Muniz and you bought in Solanke, who has Luton, which is not a bad fixture actually. Then you, but you're 0.6 short. Why am I 0.6 short? Okay, so maybe instead of removing Muniz, because of its Muniz. See, this is where you have to kind of like adjust according to your. Haaland is the most consistently inconsistent player in FPL history. Worth the punt, honestly. Yeah, that's the thing. If I do wildcard in, no, you'll do wildcard in 35. So what happens is you would triple captain in 34, wildcard 35, and potentially bench boost 37. Yeah, that's right. If you do Gameweek 34 wildcard, it will force a triple. And also 34 wildcard is so much more different to what a 35 wildcard will be. Like, it's just completely different. The two different squads. Even though it's only one Gameweek difference, squads are completely different. So I wouldn't wildcard in 34. How can we get Muniz out in this specific situation? I think maybe, do we remove Huming Sun? Yeah, if I was to remove Huming Sun here, nah, ideally we want Solanke, right? Okay, maybe. Oh, this is Tony against Aston Villa. Okay, let's remove Solanke here. Let's remove Tony and bring in Solanke. We go into 33. Obviously, Solanke is United. It's fine. It is what it is. You remove Muniz in this case. Or we maybe just roll the transfer. We could roll the transfer, to be honest. But you could also remove Muniz for another striker. Depends on who you want to bring in. If Gabriel Jesus is still an option, could also be Gabriel Jesus. Anderson to Richards. True, but he already has Anderson in his team. So it kind of like already has Anderson. So it's like removing a double game weeker for another double game weeker. It doesn't help. So maybe you roll your transfer 34, you get to something like this, and you go remove Douglas Luiz. You could bring in an Arsenal attacker. You could bring in Odegaard. You can bring in Havertz. You can bring in. Let's just put Odegaard, will you, for now? Where is Odegaard? The way Odegaard is spelled in this is like different, so it's annoying. You could do something like this. What happened here for a -4? It was Mateta out and Eze, no? Yeah, for a -4. For a -12, you could do something like this as well. This might be actually better. 10 players of this thing. Obviously, goalkeeper, bit of a problem, but you've done a -12 up to this point, and you can get to a squad like this. And you would triple captain Salah. It is not too bad, I think. What do you guys think? And why does Ariola and Dubravka both have this? Or they both play Crystal Palace? Forgot. Not too bad actually. Could change, obviously. But you'll have to take 2 back-to-back hits, which isn't too bad, I guess. Bought in Salah and you bought in Virgil van Dijk here. Obviously, if Trent is out longer term, if Trent is out until like game week 35, then like Bradley becomes like a better option than Van Dijk, to be honest. But not a bad punt. Obviously, Captain Salah in this one. 32, what did we do? We did Solanke in for Tony against Luton. You could also do a goalkeeper transfer at this specific point as well, but that's for a hit, so I don't know if it's worth it. So yeah, up to you, Taganguna. What is your play? Given I'm setting myself a challenge of not taking a hit the entire season. I feel like I'm biased here, but overall I like this plan a lot. Minus the hits. That's true. Yeah, minus the hits. Obviously it's a -12, but not a bad team, right? So just replace Salah for Barkley for this game week. Salah for Barkley. And potentially Doughty for Virgil. That's if you want to delay the wildcard. If you want to delay the wildcard, Doughty for Virgil. Otherwise, you play Saliba this week instead of Virgil. So that's up to you. What do you want to do? I will leave that decision to you, but you have both options open to you. And then while you're deciding on that, let's bring in Nick. I was thinking bring in Virgil for good fixtures. Yes, then you can bring Virgil as well. Virgil as well. Or Madison for Saka if you really want to risk it. Yes, you could do that as well. Madison for Saka, but it's against City. So that's the only one problem. Alright. Let's go, Nick. What's the plan? Let me actually copy this and paste it. Alright. So, Nick, this is your team. What are you thinking? Uh, Also, people, if you are watching in the background as well, please do hit the like button and subscribe because it does help the channel in terms of being able to show more content as well for future subscribers as well. So make sure to hit the like, subscribe it on the way to 1,000 subs. So that would be greatly appreciated. Um, in general, my aim is to delay my wildcard. I just don't know which steps to take first with who I have. I'll do my transfer now as I probably won't have time later this week. Alright, cool. Alright, good luck, Taganguna. Good luck. When are you back from Bali, Taganguna? Because obviously Gameweek 31 is in the middle of next week as well. Keep that in mind. But I think you're going for the long weekend, right? Alright, so now Nick, aim is to delay the wildcard. It's a shame there's no Huming Sun in this team. Okay, so because of no Huming Sun, damn. Who is the most expensive? How do we get... Oh, this is not easy. Your defense is pretty expensive, isn't it? How much is Walker? 5.4. Okay, let me see where your current squad is like for Gameweek 34. How many doublers? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with Odegaard. So you have a decent chunk already. What if we did Harden to Salah? Sorry, Foden to Salah. FPL Freddy, welcome. How are you doing, FPL Freddy? Damn, it's hard. What if we did Odegaard to Salah? And we did Foden 4.4. This is not an easy move. You're in a very, very interesting position here. What's your plan, Nick? For this specific week, I don't know if I can get Salah in. It's going to require quite a bit of hits. So the next question is to try and get like someone, the next best option. You're in a. Initially, my plan was to get Walker to go, but now realizing I have no Son or Salah, I'm a bit stuck. Yes, I can see why. Even to get Huming Sun is not possible. I can't even get Huming Sun without a hit. Okay, we could do something like this. Now, this is something I've also been thinking. If Kelleher is fit, I don't know so if it's fit, and if Allison is out for a long time, which is ideally until game week 34, you could probably do Kelleher in, but that's not the one that's going to free up your funds as much. I'm rolling next week. Get Salah as part of a -4. That sounds like a plan. Ready? Who are you getting next week? You're rolling next week. So who are you getting this week as Salah? Salah in, and who else? You could do Walker out to maybe a Munoz against Forest for this week. Maybe it's even start Zabani, probably. Probably start Gabriel as well. Okay, if you do Munoz out, 10 million. 3 million more to free up. Alright, so Salah might have to hold on. He is not an option this week. And I don't want to go and get Sun and then have to sell Sun again as well. Seems like a very unnecessary step to do. Walker to Richards, Doughty to Gusto are the two main moves that would help. Yeah. Walker to Richards, you could do that as well instead of Munoz, potentially. The reason I went Munoz is because, he's a good option, but you could do Richards. Could you still get Salah? No. You could now get Sun though. Potentially. What if you did something like this? Go to next week. Did Watkins out for, let's say, for example, a Darwin. Did Sun out in this specific week for a Salah. Damn it, still money shot. Okay, never mind. I was thinking too much. What if we did 6 million? Damn it. Part of me really tempted by no Haaland, as crazy as that sounds. What's your rank like? 6 or 9? Possible. Possible. How much value do you have tied up in Saka? The next question. I'm going to take a -8 until game week 34 and have 10 doublers and walk out 35. That is exactly the same thing that I'm thinking FPL Freddy. I'm also in a situation where I think -8 until game week 34 and then 10 doublers with Haaland as a single game weeker and then wildcard 35. That's probably what I'm also looking at. Saka I've had since basically the start. Okay, so you have quite a bit of values tied up on Saka. Okay, never mind. Oh, here's Luton as well in the next game. Never mind. Ignore me. The other option, as crazy as this may sound, This is your other option. Get in Matthias Cunha. Saka and sell price is at 8.8. Yeah, fair enough. And he's like 9.1. So no, Saka is not an option. You lose Watkins a week early. I do not know if actually let's try this, right? Let's actually try something like this. Now stay with me on this one. Let's bring back Walker in this. Right? For example. What if we did I just want to see how it plays out. What if we did something like this? Oh, 0.1. Oh, nightmare. Alright, let's just get Cunha in for now. Walker for Richards, was it? The perfect prep. How are you doing? Welcome, welcome. So you could do this, Richards. Okay, so this is a -8 game week 30. Going to game week 31. You do Odegaard plays probably over Gordon, maybe. You could look to bring in another Liverpool player. The question is, which Liverpool player do you want to get in? Pedro Porro could be sold for Virgil, not possible. FPL Freddy says Neto, Virgil, Ent Nuri, Gabriel, Saka, Salah, Eze, Odegaard, Darwin, Haaland, Mateta could be my 11 in 34. Ooh, you got Mateta. Interesting. I like that as well. That's not a pretty good combination as well. That is interesting indeed. Ah, now that you mention Mateta, you could also get Mateta in. Who does Mateta instead of Cunha? What do you think? Now, obviously, I don't know how much of an option. Mateta over Cunha against Forest, potentially. That way, let's say you wanted to get in 7.1. Damn it. Darwin Nunes, not Darwin. Diaz is 7.5, no? But you could do Poro to Virgil, potentially. And then in 32, the team looks something like this. Maybe roll the transfer in 32. Obviously, captaincy and all you'll have to fix, but yeah. Maybe roll transfer 32, 33. Now, 32, okay? And not many people are mentioning this. I won't be surprised if there's a bit of rotation in 32 from Arsenal and from Manchester City in game week 32. That is something that has to be kind of mentioned as well. John, how are you doing? Welcome, welcome. Because in game week 32 is basically Champions League. Game week 32 Champions League. City have Real Madrid and Arsenal have Bayern Munich. So there will be rotation in game week 32 because teams seem to have decent fixtures between both. Like, was it 32? Yes, I think it's 32. Sorry, not 32, not 32. My bad. 33. Game week 33. Come game week 33, City have Luton. So Champions League, Luton, Champions League. Real Madrid, Luton, Real Madrid. As Arsenal won't be able to rotate, they're playing Aston Villa. So they kind of have to play a full team in 33. But they could potentially rotate in 32 before the Bayern Munich game. That is something to probably maybe consider as well. Just letting you guys know. Now 33, your team will be like this. You will probably have to make a transfer somewhere. that involves maybe Gordon leaving for I am not sure for who at the moment. Who would you want to sell Gordon for is the question. I'll probably leave that to you. Maybe things might change by then. 33. We do have. You already have a decent amount of Palace players, and you'll probably want Olise or Eze in 34 and not 33. Unfortunately, we can't get to Diaz unless you did Gordon to Diaz. We kind of have to keep in mind Liverpool's potential rotation as well. And then you did another transfer that involved. Oh, you're in a pickle. Okay, you kind of have to think about this. I'm aiming to go for, is it worth wildcarding just for that and reshuffling funds? Also, to be fair, Arteta will still play Saka full 90 anyways. Yes. You playing your wildcard? No, I'm not playing my wildcard now. I'm planning to play my wildcard in Gameweek 35. If wildcard only chip left. I've got my wildcard and bench boost chip. So I'm gonna wildcard 35, bench boost 37. That's the current plan. I've got an ideal backline I'm aiming to go for. Is it worth wildcarding? What's the ideal backline that you're aiming to go for? The thing is, here is where we kind of have to consider how it switches. Now let me bring this up to 38. Watch the switch. Come game week 34, you would want to get rid of. This is why you're starting to remove certain players from certain teams. You would not have any Spurs, right? But Spurs will either double in 35 or 36, which means Spurs players will become a priority to get in. This is where United and Newcastle, look at that run for United and Newcastle. They're going to become kind of important. Obviously, the doubles in 37 haven't been fully confirmed, but we're expecting them to go there. So United, Newcastle will become a priority. More Chelsea will become a priority as well because 35 they double. So it's the flip. You'll probably look to sell. I think a lot of people might even think of like removing Salah just to free up funds for the rest. So how are you going to? You need to. This is easy. A lot needs to be thought about. It all depends on people's chip strategies. Like if people who have free hits, they could wildcard early, free hit 34, and bench boost 37 as well for those who have the free hit chip. Do you already have Salah? No, I don't have Salah. I'm thinking of getting Salah in Game Week 31. I don't know what to do with this thing, but like when you go to 34, your team, like 34, you've already got like 9 doublers. You burn the transfer as well. So 10, 11 doublers. You can get 11. Oh, you can actually make a transfer of the backline. So you have a free transfer to spend, technically speaking. Because you burned a transfer over here. So you have a free transfer. You can use to upgrade your goal. You use one transfer to upgrade the goalkeeper actually. So let's say in 33 you do a goalkeeper transfer. Then maybe like, I don't know, remove Areola for who would you want in goal? A back five of Gabriel, Saliba, Richards, Branthwaite, and Bradley is what I'm trying to go for if possible. What if Trent is back? What if Trent is back is the question. Kelleher? Yeah, you probably go for Kelleher, right? But what if Trent is back? So let's say you go for Kelleher. right? Game week 34. You said you wanted a backline of Richards, Gabriel, Saliba. Would do Saliba. Then Bradley swaps out for Gusto. Ah. And it's set up for game week 37. Ah, okay. So let's actually try that. So let me actually copy this team, put it over. Let's go to another one, right? Do what you mentioned. Let's do let's do a wild card. So you go for, let's say you go for Kelleher as one option potentially. Maybe you go Nana as the second goalkeeper for the double in 37. You said Gabriel, Saliba, Branthwaite, Bradley, and Richards, right? Your midfield will include Palmer, Saka, Salah. It would have a front line of maybe Solanke, Haaland, Darwin, maybe? Let's say. Oh, wait, you have too many Liverpool players. My bad. Undo Darwin. So Salah, Saka, Palmer. Maybe you don't have Kelleher. Maybe you have Pickford. Salah, Saka, Palmer. Foden is removed or Foden is kept. Maybe you keep Gordon as well, potentially. Mateta, maybe? Maybe. Maybe you had something like this as a wild card. Let's say you start, maybe you start Gabriel or Branthwaite, potentially. I don't know. Let's say you had something like this as a wild card, right? Gordon, probably start Gordon over Mateta or start Mateta. Up to you. Let's see. Maybe let's just think about it. So 31 we go. Team looks fine. We play obviously this, something like this. Go to 32. This is a wildcard in 31, by the way, Nick. Should I do a wildcard and get Salah, Palmer, Son, and others? Or should I just do a free transfer for Palmer only this game week, number 123 in the league? Let's bring your team up as well. 123. It's a free hit, no? What's the team like otherwise? Okay, give me a second, John. I'll bring yours up as well. When are you planning on wildcarding, Nick? Probably wildcard 31, no? In your case? So maybe we wildcard in this specific week. So ignore me. 31 wildcard, which means 32 you have one free transfer, not two free transfers. I should probably just do it here, to be honest. Use this as the wildcard week. 32 you have something like this. 33 you roll the transfer, you go to here. Who would you bring in? Is the question. Who would you want to have for 34? Because 34 you'll have a double game week team. I mean 34 you would have a team like this. Are you looking to bench boost in 34? I probably want another midfielder, right? Maybe Foden out. You want to bench boost in 34? Okay, if you're wanting the bench boost in 34, then yeah, that changes things. So you go 32, something like this. 33, we would bring in bench boost in 34. Oh, who do they have in 34? Crystal Palace. Then that means in 31, of Gordon. Probably go Garnacho as well, potentially. Something like this. 32, keep it like that. 33, Gordon against Luke. Allen again. Can't drop any of them. This is where you probably maybe you drop Palmer and bring Palmer back. So let's say, for example, you go and get, I don't know, who do you want to get? Elise, potentially. But against Liverpool, do you want double? Who do you want? 34. Let's go 33 onwards. Can you go for another Liverpool attack? You can, right? Salah, Bradley, yes. Good Diaz, maybe. Potentially. If you keep Saka, Odegaard, and Zabani and don't work out, how many double can we get in by Gameweek 34? SJ, welcome. How are you doing? How are you doing? How many doubles? This is how you would look like if we kept the players we kept. In doublers. And for some reason, how did I end up on 10 doublers with 2 free transfers? Something's wrong. So we did a -8. We did nothing here. We did a transfer here. Who did we bring in? We bought him Virgil van Dijk over here. And then we did nothing here. Did a transfer here that bought in Mateta? No. Who did he bring in 33? Oh, we did a goalkeeper transfer. Sorry, we did a goalkeeper transfer. Of Variola to Kelleher. And then you got to 34, you ended up like this, which means you could have used 2 free transfers to kind of alternate if you wanted to. You could like fix your double game because if you're not happy with any of them. SJ, how are you doing? How's the day looking like? So if you didn't like if you wanted another attacking double game week player, you can like upgrade Gordon to, I don't know, anyone. You could even downgrade Haaland. Actually, you could upgrade Gordon to someone. You could downgrade Virgil if you wanted to. You could move Gordon to even a Eze. And maybe say, let's say you don't like Zabani as an option. If Bradley is still playing, Virgil to a Bradley, you could do. Thinking about this now, you could even bench boost this team. You could even bench boost without having to wild card. Now that I've thought about this a bit more. Like you could get in the United players, for example. Let's say you did Doughty to a, or you could get even a double Gameweek player, like a Wolves player, maybe an Ent Nuri, maybe for a hit you went and got Pickford. Although I don't know if I would do it, and probably bench boost. See, this is the thing. There are so many options available. Bench boost, wildcard, and then but then your chips are done then. And then you just focus purely on your starting 11 for 37. Which means you can still keep which means you can still keep Arsenal players on your bench or even a Liverpool player on your bench in 37 and then play them for their good fixture in 38. I'm basically set on my first move though. You mean the whole this as a first move? Walker to Richards, Watkins to Mateta, and who did I sell for Salah? I completely forgot who I sold for Salah. Oh, you just mean Walker to Richards just to free up budget. Yeah, fair enough. Foden. I sold Foden for Salah. SJ, how's everything going? And also, John, let me actually bring up your team, John. So, John, this is where's John's team? Where's John's team? This is John's team. All right, John. What were you thinking of doing, John? What was your like a chip strategy? What was the chips? Ooh. Wildcard now or 34? Last chip. Oh, that's the only chip left. Ooh. Did you use the chips? With you, I don't know if I wildcard Game Week 30. I probably wildcard Game Week 31 instead. Which means I would sell Chong to get in Palmer. And would I play Bay over Odegaard? Maybe, potentially. I probably wildcard Game Week 31. Potentially. Because then Chong to Palmer. Yeah, you do Chong to Palmer for this week. Reckless use of chips. Early game weeks. Yeah. Indeed. I think you wildcard potentially 31, which removes your Spurs players, removes the Aston Villa players. You change your defense up a bit, remove the Luton player. Yeah, probably wildcard 31 maybe. This is still not a bad. Probably captain Cole Palmer as well, eventually. Ideally, I would have loved to have a Huming Sun or a Salah this week. Actually, you could have. Oh, okay. Here's a question, John. How much? But many are letting go of Watkins to fund Salah. That they're doing in 31. A lot of people are doing that in 31. I think. I don't know if how many people are doing it this week. I think 31. A lot have done it. Or a lot will do it, including myself as well potentially. Actually, I might be letting go of Huming Sun as well. But that's a different story. How much funds do you have on Saka? I'm just trying to think of how best we can optimize your team. Let's say you wanted to get rid of. Let's say you wanted to get Salah in. Probably have to be for Martin Odegaard because budget-wise, Leon Bay is not going to do the thing. So let's say we did Odegaard to Salah. Watkins would have to go. This is where Watkins to Mateta could have been a nice play. Who did I sell here? Was it Barkley that I sold? Chong. How much was Chong? 4.7. Okay, Chong will have to stay. So let's say you did something like Watkins to actually Bay to Palmer. Mm, whole. I have to offload Robertson. Yes, you do, but just not yet. Probably. Even if you do, it's like even if you bring Bradley in, it's like too much surgery. Too much surgery over here. That's a lot of damage. You saw Watkins for either Mateta or Matheus Cunha from Wolves. He did something like this for a -8. These guys have to go. Doughty has to go. Chong has to go. Who exactly is the question? Keller for Leno if wildcard. Yeah, I think if you're wildcard, I think you probably wildcard 31 and then try and navigate the rest of the season with transfers. You kind of have like the price structure of the team is like all over the place. Like a lot of money is in defense as well. So it's not as easy to move stuff. Like goalkeepers are also expensive. Maybe wildcard 31 for you. So then you don't do this -8, whatever. You probably. Who did I bring in? I brought in Salah and a Palmer, no? That means you would. Maybe next time I catch you live with chat draft. Yep, no worries. I think for this week, you probably just do like Chong to Bay, Chong to Palmer maybe. And probably wildcard 31 is what I'm thinking. Sun might just punish short term. Yep. I think Sun and Salah are your problems for this week. But there is nothing much you can kind of do, unfortunately. because you'll be copying huge hits to kind of get them in. Like you can get Salah in for a -8, but then if you're wildcarding in 31 and then taking a -8 just before wildcarding, I don't know if it's worth it. So that's why you kind of have to decide like how you want to approach things. Probably wildcard 31. Try and set yourself up properly. Who are you captaining this week? For me, I would probably end up captaining Heung-min Son this week. I'm going to bring in Palmer, and I probably might bring in Kelleher for a -4. That's my current plan. And then in game week 31, I either get rid of Watkins, or I either get rid of Watkins and Heung-min Son. So I can sell Watkins in 31, bring in Darwin Núñez, and either sell Son or sell Martin Odegaard, as you can see in the two differences. I probably might lean towards selling Heung-min Son for another -4. And then in 32, I roll. 33, I'm in a pickle because I kind of had to use a transfer somewhere and I have no idea where I want to use the transfer. And I basically end up doing it on Munoz in this case. Pedro Porro to Munoz in 33. But if I kept Sun, then maybe I just do Sun. No, I probably still play Sun against Newcastle. So Munoz, Pedro Porro to Munoz was what I ended up doing. Maybe I stabbed Branthwaite instead of Munoz, but yeah. And then 34, I ended up in a 10 doublers. Could potentially be 11 doublers if I got rid of Sun and Watkins. Like if I followed this path. I could sell Haaland. Don't know for who. Maybe Mateta. Maybe Semenyo. Maybe just keep Haaland, and if I don't like Martin Odegaard as an option, maybe I go some other midfield option. Maybe I even switch Branthwaite out for another defender. I don't know. Yeah, so it's a -8 for the moment to get 10 doublers. Could go to 11 doublers with a -8. At the moment, unsure. But yeah, that's where I'm at. No point for extra minuses at this stage. Yeah, fair enough. Shall I captain Salah and vice captain Son this game week, chat? Yes, you can do that, Tag and Guna. You can do that. Yep, that's not a bad point. That's not a bad move. I'm selling Poro, Huang, and Watkins for Antony, Salah, and Mateta in 31. That's a -4. That's not too bad, actually. Ready? That is not too bad at all. Cool. So yeah, that's kind of basically my plans at the moment. I think we will end it there unless anyone has any further questions. I've been streaming for like an hour and a half. Maybe I should look at like streaming this at a well, there's going to be like a time change and everything, so I'll probably stream this thing, like change my time zone of streaming. What do we think, people? Basically that's it that I've got at the moment. I just need to do Palmer, Foden to Palmer, and if Kelleher is good to play until 34, Areola to Kelleher for a -4 this week. And FPL Freddy also not a bad set of moves as well. Any further questions before we end? I think we might end here, and then obviously podcast tomorrow. I will be joined by Karan_FPL, who is playing his game week 30 wildcard. So could help any of you guys who are thinking of early wildcards like 30-31 to kind of get an idea. I've done my transfer. All right, good luck, Tiger and Guna. Good luck. All right, I think we'll end it here. If you guys have any further questions, feel free to either join the Discord and message me on Discord. We'll have further discussions on Discord as well. Let me put the Discord link. Link is in the description as well for you guys to join the Discord. We have a channel there for FPL Challenge as well. So anyone who wants to join the Discord, do join the Discord, or just message me on Twitter or Instagram, one of the two. And I will have a video out for. I have a video out for FPL Challenge, like the unlimited draft. So anyone who's playing FPL Challenge, do join the mini league, the FPL Challenge mini league. I'll put that as well. Do join the FPL Challenge mini league as well for anyone who hasn't. I'll create an unlimited draft video on Thursday, maybe podcast tomorrow. Do you all need a Game Week 30 wildcard draft? Let me know as well. If you guys are interested in seeing a Game Week 30 wildcard draft, it's not easy to build one, as you guys have seen already. But let me know. Maybe I'll create a poll. But yeah, that's basically it for now. Thank you all for watching. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I will see you all tomorrow for the podcast. Thank you very much. Have a good day. Have a good week. Enjoy the long weekend for some of you as well. And see you following week. But have a great Easter all. Yes, have a great Easter as well. Thank you all for watching. Thank you, Tiger and Gunnar, John, FPL Freddy, Nick, SJ, The Perfect Prep. Who else? Tin. And anyone else, thank you very much. Nick, let me know how your thoughts are going with regards to the team. If you need any questions, guys, anyone of y'all need any questions, join the Discord, and SJ as well. Thank you very much. And I will see you all tomorrow for podcast at same starting time, 9 p.m. Sydney time, same starting time as this video. Podcast tomorrow. Thank you all for watching. I will see you all later. Peace out, everyone.